All right, guys, so we talk about how in Unit 4 we're dealing with logic, and in logic we have two different types of decision-making structures, basic and advanced. With the if-then statements, we can have both basic and advanced. The first example that we were going to use is we're going to need to have some sort of variable that we're going to look at. So we'll take a look at like name string equals an input. What is your name? After we have this variable, we can take a look at it and compare it to some sort of condition that we want to see if it meets. So if name string equals Mr. Keller, then print you are making a video. Okay, put my wait key and end. And when I run this, it's going to ask me what is your name? Mr. Keller says you are making a video. Now it's important to note that whenever we are comparing string variables, such as name string here, that they are case sensitive. So if I was to run this again and type in Mr. Keller without capitalizing anything, you'll see that it does absolutely nothing. Okay? So whenever we're doing any comparisons to strings, it's a good idea to say name string equals the lower of name string and change the condition that I'm looking at to match the lowercase of all this stuff. That way, if I happen to forget to capitalize the Mr. or the Keller, I can still get the condition that I'm looking for, which is knowing that name string does equal Mr. Keller. Now, this is an example of a basic decision-making structure. And what differentiates this from an advanced decision-making structure is if I put something else in here. Say I was going to put Mr. Earn. Okay, does absolutely nothing. Okay, in a basic decision-making structure, it's only going to do something if that condition holds true. So only if name string equals Mr. Keller. Okay, since that condition is not held true, then we need to have it give some sort of other statement. That's what takes it to a advanced decision-making structure. In order for us to have an advanced decision-making structure when we're dealing with if-thens, I need to create what's known as an if-then block. So after my then statement, I'm going to tab over and press enter so I've got a new line of code. This new line of code we tab over just so that we can showcase where we are starting, and we're going to showcase where we end our if-then block. So now that I've got this, if your name is Mr. Keller, then print you are making a video. If your name is not Mr. Keller, we want to do something else. So we're going to say else, again tab over, print you are watching a video. Now I've created this block of code. I need to tell it that I'm done creating this block, so I tab back over here and type in and if. Okay, when I run this now, if Mr. Earn happens to be watching this, we see that he is watching a video. Okay, so that's going to be the difference between a basic and an advanced decision-making structure. Additionally, with our if-thens, we can compare multiple things. Okay, so I can say something like age in here equals an input. How old are you? And when I ask this question, now I can check and see even closer whether or not this is the actual Mr. Keller making the video. So I can say if age or name string equals Mr. Keller and age is less than 30, then print you are making a video. Otherwise, you are watching a video, because if you're a Mr. Keller and you're older than 30, then you are obviously not me. So we run this. Mr. Keller, we're going to put in 9, you are making a video. Okay? If I was to change this to or, this is going to give me a slightly different thing here. So if I say or right in here, I can put Mr. Earn in here. But if I say that Mr. Earn is 29, it'll show that he is making the video as well. So when we're using the and the or commands here, and requires that both of the conditions be true, or it requires that either of the conditions be true. There's one third one, and you're not going to use it very often, but I do want to talk about it slightly, and that's using the XOR command. Now, XOR is not the new bad guy that's going to appear in some Marvel movie, but rather what's known as an exclusive OR. So now if I type in Mr. Keller, and I type in 29, you'll see that it says you are watching a movie. This is because when we have an exclusive OR, only one of these conditions can be held true. So when we have both Mr. Keller and age being under 30, we are no longer making a video, but we are watching a video then at that point. So that's going to be the difference between XOR, and, or and. Okay. It's also very important to note that if we are using an and or an or, that must always occur at or before the then. If we are trying to do multiple things, we never use an and statement after the then. We always try and break this down into an if-then block of code to where we can print something else in here. To where I can print, we are both teaching programming and making a video. Okay? So anytime that we want to use an and statement, the and should always come before the then. Anytime we are doing more than one thing after, or if a condition is met, we always create an if-then block and break that down as such.